Hi everybody, my name is Giovanni Capriglione. I'm excited to kick off today's activism meeting, but I'm going to be sharing with you about why you should block walk. And before I start, I'm going to set my timer for 10 minutes, my alarm. You see, we're going to have so much fun talking to our neighbors this election cycle that we want to make sure that we have a way to limit the amount of time we have per person. Plus, Julie said I have only 10 minutes exactly to do this, and then she was going to take away my mic. 2 years ago, almost to the day, it was the first time I ever walked and went door to door. Now, I'll be honest, I was a little nervous. I didn't know who was on the other side of that door. Does that person have a vicious attack dog? Are they going to slam the door in my face? Or worse, what if they're a Democrat? What am I supposed to do? So, with a deep breath, and I remember I was in Grapevine, and I knocked on that door, and I was kind of half hoping the person wouldn't open the door. But they did, and it was this tall, 80-year-old woman and I explained to her that I was a Republican. That's the first thing. I'm a Republican, and I need help with the petition. And so we got to talking, and we talked for quite a while, and we realized how much stuff we had in common. We agreed on local issues. We had a mutual dislike for our current president's policy. And so we had a great conversation, and after a few minutes, she said, sure, of course, I would love to sign your petition. She said, but a few weeks ago, I had a stroke, and the arm that I used to write with doesn't work anymore. So I said, well, that's okay. You know, I'll just go to the next house. No, she wouldn't have any of that. She grabbed my petition, and with a lot of effort and a lot of work, and obvious pain, she signed my petition. And she signed it because we agreed, but also because in her own small way, she was fighting back, and she was doing the right thing. Since that time, I've walked to thousands of households, and each one has its own unique story, unique experiences. And I'm glad to say that I haven't been bitten by a dog. I did have a door slammed in my face, though, by a Democrat. It was actually going fine until I brought up Fox News. So, you know, we all know that as time has progressed, we've actually become less and less of a community. We don't know our neighbors as well. We don't talk to them as much. Our houses have become bigger. Our suburbs have sprawled. And that is why this point-to-point contact with your neighbors is so important and so effective, because a lot of people will be shocked to see you at their door, and they will be glad. Technology has done a great job allowing us to talk to more people, but nothing beats that contact. I still remember the first time I wrote my roommate an email while he was sitting next to me. And that is not as effective as going to them and talking to people and telling them where you stand and finding out exactly how many people do agree with you. It's not scary. It's a lot of fun. It's good exercise, great chance to talk to your neighbors. And if we believe that 4 more years of liberalism could destroy this country, then I don't think we have a choice. Okay? It's up to us. We're the party of personal responsibility. And if we're sitting here waiting for someone else to do it, we're going to be shocked to find no one coming to help. Right now, the left, as they always have been preparing. And they're doing a lot of different things because they're a little demoralized right now. So what they've done is they've got a lot of money, billion, right, or more, that they're going to be using to support Barack Obama. So if you go online, you'll see on Craigslist and other places them looking for block walkers, canvassers to go, and they're willing to pay them. I'm not going to read you the whole Help Wanted ad, you won't like it, but I'll read you part of it. It says, canvasser jobs, canvas for a progressive movement. Help build the progressive movement. You will go door to door to talk to residents about important issues like immigration and the environment and public education to motivate them to take action. If you speak languages in addition to English, that's a plus. These are the ads that are going out, we're paying them a lot of money. We have to combat that in the same way, but we're going to do it with volunteers. A lot of people will say that the most important thing you can do is vote, and I disagree with that. I think that's the least that you can do. We all have to work a little bit harder. For every hour that you're willing to block walk, you'll be able to change somewhere between 5 and 10 votes. If you're willing to commit tonight for 10 hours of block walking, you will become a political force in your neighborhood. And with that, Tea Parties all across the United States will be able to make a huge difference. I'm just going to spend a little time talking about 4 actual events that happened here locally that showed how effective block walking is. First, in Keller in last May, or this May, actually, they had 30 amendments that they wanted to put on the ballot. Unfortunately, it passed overwhelmingly, all 30 of them. But if you step back and you look at 3 out of those 12 precincts, you'll see that those 3 precincts are different than the other 9. Those 3 precincts had Tea Party people in them walking. Billy Camerman, Dennis Aarons, Sarah, who's not here, along with their team, of going door to door. The difference between those 3 precincts and the others is a 15 percentage point spread. For those of you who know how many elections are decided with just a few percentage points, that's how much of a difference our members can make. In the November 2010 election, what I did is I sorted all of the precincts from the ones with the least amount of people going to vote, the percentage of people voting, to the highest. The very bottom, we had 16% of that precinct deciding to go vote in November. That one had no precinct chair and no block walkers. The top is a precinct chairwoman who got 42% of her precinct to go vote. That's how big of a spread it is to go and make this effort. Another one of our members here, who's a precinct chairwoman in Keller, she's a big Deborah Medina fan. And she went last March during the primaries and went door to door, pitching her candidate and other candidates. Well, that's a tough battle, okay? Because top of the ballot is difficult. You're going there and you're trying to tell someone, don't vote for Rick Perry, vote for Deborah Medina. In the state of Texas, she got about 18%. In Tarrant County, Deborah Medina got 20%. But in this women's precinct, she got 32%. Wow. That is a staggering conclusion, and it shows you just how effective. If you know the right people to go to, right thing to say, they'll do what you want. And so that's important. And as I close out my 10 minutes, I want to tell you one last story about an election that happened here in Southlake. It was a Carroll School Board election. I was promoting and I was supporting a conservative for the school board. And if you know anything about Southlake, this Carroll School Board, Carroll ISD is almost entirely Southlake, with one small section in Grapevine, just 2 little subdivisions. And Fred, who's the guy who I was helping, he and I decided that that was critical, because all the rest of Southlake was going to be up for battle, but this section of Grapevine was different. So just a few days before the election, he and I walked it, just 3 hours total. He did it first, and then I did it the next day. And so on election night, we sat there and we watched the results come in. And just as it happened, all of the results, except for that Grapevine area, had come in. And after all the initial results had come in, Fred was ahead by 1 vote. With 5,000 ballots cast, he was ahead by 1 vote. And again, with the only area not done is the area we walked. And so we were psyched, because we knew we had it in the bag. And he won by 16 votes. And it was huge. And what it shows is that there is nothing, all the research will show. If you get the Get Out the Vote book, if you look at Brown's research, if you look at Yale's, everybody who's done any research, there is nothing more effective or more efficient than going to people's homes. It's because you can have that communication. You can tell them what you like about that person or what you don't like about that issue. And so, I can't stress enough how important it is and how really little time you have to do it. You can go with friends. I know the next speakers will go and tell you all the different things that we've done to make it more fun, more efficient, and more valuable. So with that, that's my speech. I thank you. I am running for a state representative for District 98 against our current incumbent, Vicki Choi. If there's any questions, I guess I'll take a couple. Yes?
Has she announced yet?
She hasn't announced. She said that she's probably going to be running.
I was at a legislative update she did in Keller about 3 weeks ago, and she told us there that she is going to run again for the House of Representatives.
Great. Looking forward to it. Anything else? All right, Julie, that's for you.